server as we're getting ready to hop into the first map.
You actually made a good point that I forgot about, that the fact this is Alex's second stint with Bait. I don't believe he was the in-game leader of the first roster that he was playing alongside. It was Owner instead, and now taking his place on the team that they had made such a peak with. It was a number 36 in the world, right? That was a pretty high statement for them at that point in time, when this was all the way back in April of 2023. Now they find themselves at their highest peak ever with this new roster. So I'm curious to see how far they can push the envelope on that one. As they're pushing the envelope in mid, that's going to be absolutely the case, as they don't have anybody put directly inside of the A site. It is going to be a retake onto the cards. No flashbang and only a smoke.
Yeah, but again, taking a high value on this donut control can be the strongest post plant here on this map. If they want to press that issue, they're just going to wait behind this deep smoke here. And Pleasant is going to make the proactive move. This is some really smart Counter-Strike rolling through, and he's going to catch it back here. Head trick. He does actually react in time, able to adjust, and gets another one. Head trick somehow managing to make this work. I don't know how he gets away with two right there. But still, the bomb is chugging along here. Damage is being done. Two players down low. They need to find the kills. Bowden looking to offer up a smoke on top of the bomb, and they can't track the diffuser. It's just going to go on through here. Just enough time as Robin rounds the corner, but it won't matter. As the kill's coming through a little too late, and Bait, he somehow recovered that pistol.
Robin does what he can there, nearly enough. Literally a split second between his bullet leaving the chamber and entering the side of the diffuser, but Bait still away. One. Strong affair for the CT side now with these rifles, but even so, 4 Galils and an AK-47 for the defenders. See if they can manage to make anything work with that, playing around Donut side. A masterful pistol from Head Trick, and only those two, but probably the most impactful to kick it all off with that. But already down and out, MPL letting that loose. The bottom side of mid makes this a much more difficult way about maneuvering this one as they gain banana control. Exner, how long will they be able to stick around this area?
Just depends on how many times they can recycle that smoke. As you can see, there's still one for Cineal. And just an underhand toss. Assertment of control right there in the face of your opposition. Just one smoke in between you. And this control is always so valuable, but also this Alliance squad, just so easy to wait out this utility. You've already got a man advantage. You've also crucially got some space on A as well. So there's no massive reads being given over in this man deficit situation here for the side of A tier. Just trying to get some utility down. They have to fade away. And again, this A side of the map here is left a little bit weakened, at least in terms of the numbers here. Alex,
You know what,
on his island.
you know what I like to see, actually, though, is I said how long can they stick around at the bottom side of Banana. They really can't for all that much longer, but it's still going to be Alliance, keeping them really tucked in to where they have to play inside of their sights. They can waste all the time, make them second guess, but not thinking twice about finding that double. Is Alex, but will it be enough? The bomb will be planted. Twist is low, but still a man up. It's going to have to be some solid decision-making from the rest of the CTs, but hold on, Avid's a little bit far away. Way too far away. Twist is up close and personal, and he's got nobody else available for the trade. They're going to be united, but will it come to matter if they get inside of this site and they can hold the line?
Good hit up here as well, but that crossfire is too strong. That is what I talk about when I talk about how strong Donut is in terms of a post plant. It almost makes rounds unlosable, barring what we saw on the pistol with Head Trick. Pulling off some big heroics and actually containing that control on the CT side. That crossfire just too deadly there. And Alex, man, fantastic output on the double. But the MP9 just not the gun up for the task right there. Needed to add an extra kill to the tally to make it a little bit more doable. Missed out on that opportunity. And what we've yet to see here with the economy changes is like pretty one-sided retakes where it's like there's only the bomb plant and not a lot of T-side kills. Once you get those T-side kills, it actually still feels a little bit like the same. Where it's still Galils and Armor, which are the big kickers, and those second round purchases that are usually pretty difficult to deal with.
They're burying themselves in debt right now, Bait, in order to put something ahead. Alex with the only weapon that isn't a pistol right now. And hopefully with these kinds of rounds you have a game plan, because they only have one smoke, so it's like, how much can you really afford to do? How creative can you get? Make as much money as you possibly can as they're quick through the cave side. It's only one player inside of it, isolated from his compatriot and Headtrick, who's on the other end. And as he loses his life, this becomes a much more difficult way of play. With a Deagle, not exactly the weapon for the job you would come to expect it to be, but hold on, through the smoke, they exchange damage, they exchange hands, though, as that SMG is left onto the floor, able to be retrieved by an MPL, but he's over at long. It's Headtrick who needs to stand his ground. He needs to stand strong. Once they walk in, the majority of the cave take from a moment ago are soft.
They're still so diligent about this as well. Taking too many chances. There's Bowden turning that corner. There's a MAC-10 recovered as well. They don't want to turn that corner anymore. That flash comes through here. Continues to challenge, and another kill comes out of Headtrick. Pure confidence rolling through here. As they lose a couple of those duels, you can see Twist has the cutoff right now in a round-winning position as the bomb looks to transition on in. The call's been made to clear. NPL, he can have no say, and in fact, ticks in the molly to add to the injury here. We have what could be a big flank rolling through there. So fast from Headtrick. He equalizes the playing field now. NPL goes and recovers a gun, but again, a little too slow in the uptick. There's no hesitation here from Headtrick. They're going to join forces now. Already in Donut, though, again. We talked about this post plant being so strong. Oh my god. Oh, just a chance there on the timing, but that's a wake-up call. Can't press your luck. NPL got a save.
You believe in that moment Headtrick might have just done enough to get them into a winning spot. NPL, he had a gun he could have retrieved just the same with body armor to boot, but you know, sometimes everything you've got just isn't enough. That's okay. In this round, might have been everything put onto the line, but it's a good start to what is somewhat of a roll from Headtrick he's getting onto. 2 in the pistol, 1 in the following, 3 here. Hasn't been around, we haven't seen his name in the kill feed. Maybe more to come. PL really just going to be the one that they look to rally behind, as Headtrick has made more than enough money into his back pocket for this next round loss bonus to get him his AWP. That's going to be the biggest thing. I mean, just like head-to-head. Headtrick versus Bowden Master. I guess head to Bowden, more like. You gotta favor the former, surely.
You think Headtrick over Bowden?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I mean, again, like Bowden a lot when he was playing in NA.
Yeah.
Might have picked up a couple of those NA opera habits.
That's funny, actually.
Fortunately, I don't think it's coming through.
We didn't see it.
Success, but oh yeah, it didn't quite clear fully. It's not a bad exchange, and again, you got to be careful running into this rifle of Headtrick, and or other MPL. He's looking for a duel right now. He's looking for a tussle, and he's got to find it. The man advantage established here. Complications starting to be put through.
Really see a world they get much more unless they back up into NPL. Headtrick will be given no vision on either side of the CT pillar. It's NPL who's just stuck into this corner now, so if they go to re-clear, it's gonna be weird. He actually does spot that player over the top side of a teammate's shoulder. What is this? What is happening? How is he allowed to play off the back of his body? He's been baited in, baited through, bomb planted. Not, I don't think, for Robin. Looks like he does actually have it on the line. For how long is he just going to be able to send bullets down range before they've got to run him through? A spam back, a swing down, an MPL and Headtrick. They're going to be able to finish it off.
That's just so perfect right there from NPL. A little bit of patience put on display there. Lets Captain Kirk actually lead the charge, and he offers up that fast headshot, follows suit. There's NPL just trading his teammate right there as well. I don't think he could have asked for a better position from NPL to secure that round. Help out at least in doing so. Just play that post plant without a kit so carefully as well. Everything going right for Bait on a round where they only had a single hero rifle and I believe a couple P250 upgrades, but not much. Not much at all. The sort of rounds that they can just rip away from you. It's why this team has become such a deadly tier 2 roster.
Bait and switch setup right now. Head trick gonna be lucky to get away with this, in my opinion. Captain Kirk, he's gonna hold the line. You can afford to just molly him first. They're not gonna do that. That'll extend their hand. They'll do it second, but they're not gonna be holding onto it, actually. He's gonna be able to get his fight a second even, not spotting him. I'm not sure where the eyes of the Alliance players are right now, because they're just missing constant positioning from each and every member of Bait at every given point. The bomb having crossed to the big box, and I don't think MPL realizes that much, and it might actually become his undoing. Bodemaster sits and waits. Avid allowed to make his way through the back and potentially to find a kill, but still aware of it. Held by Essential. Or Essential. Not sure if that's intentional or not, but that's how I'm going to say it either way. And Avid doesn't get his fight instead.
The positioning right there, I mean, very strong. MPL just available for a quick trade. Now Bowden, one of his specialties, delivering the clutch, but he's just gonna die while planting the ball out in the open, right there, and dealt with. Bait find themselves in a really good spot there. I think Bowden had maybe anticipated them to rotate over towards that B side a little bit more, but that's not the case here. Bait reclaiming the lead there. What could have been just so much worse here for Bait on the initial hold. Captain Kirk, I don't know if you saw it, but he mollied himself off in Donut.
Ooh.
And it looked like it was just going to collapse from that point forward. But again, still able to find 2 kills there from Headtrick is wild.
Money missed out on from that bomb plant leaves them rushing into A and into the line of spray of MPL, and his damage is inflicted. The kills are a little few and far between. C4 left onto the floor, and only one stands. Not for much longer. That round is about as slow as it'll go. For a bunch of pistols, they're going to be running it down. It's not really much room for you to pump the brakes. Hot and heavy. This lead looking to extend itself that little bit further, and no time to waste. Alliance, no op, no real need for it, I guess, right this second. Map that really does lend itself to 5 rifles. See if it'll come to matter. I think that the Bait mid control has been pretty interesting in how variably they will or won't take it and what they decide to do otherwise. Because you can see right now that Headtrick is posted the opposite side of A main as his teammate Captain Kirk is walking through. There are players on the other side caught off guard. Bomb not spotted, but still fights their way. They'll actually lose it this time around. I like the idea. Novelty enough, but Headtrick not being able to refrag. If he had an AWP, there might have been a world, but instead he'll just hold on to the A main control and do what little he can with that as the rest of the team looks elsewhere.
Honestly, just watching that setup, I was operating under the assumption that Headtrick was opping, but end up losing that early duel. But again, there's space all over the map here, besides middle. Right now, keeping them boxed in. Cynthial, he's looking for a kill as opposed to holding this line. They've got Bowden with that flash lined up, ready to spring into action. There's that fight. Barrel's got to be seen at some point, right? Surely something spotted. He avoids the flash as the molly comes on through. They kind of telegraph it here, and boxed out by the HE. They can't get past this line. They're terrified. And there's only 30 seconds left. There's only one route forward. Big control going to be taken, but they've mollied themselves off. It's more time being brought off the Koak. It's a one-way street up ramp.
They go, and MPL has no line of sight. Plessin gets one of his own. It's becoming more and more difficult by the second as the lineup is there for the default plant. And MPL's got him. 10 seconds. Hold on. Don't plant in the same spot. Surely not. Damage onto 1. Somewhat of a body block. Thankfully so, because if they weren't able to punch in that code, there was no attempt at a third. It's Headtrick. Going to have to allow them to get their third. Nothing he can really say or do about this one. Get a couple of kills at the end of the day. 12 kills to his name in total, and even upgrade to the Kalashnikov himself. As he walks it back, will he be allowed to exit? Very little room to do so. He'll be put into his place. Bodemaster not letting him escape without bullet to the face. Another round won by Alliance, and you can see that this is still a back and forth affair, and one that honestly is a little bit more so than I would have anticipated off of the rip. But we're going to need to see someone elevate to the same level of Headtrick and NPL, because right now 1 and 2 kills isn't going to do it.
I mean, just so much. I mean, this victory right here from Pleasant, there is so little time left, but Alliance leave themselves with enough clock there for things to go a little bit awry and for them to still hold on. Here's that mid control you're talking about. NPL, you know, when he is here, he's usually good for a multi. This guy is such a stud at keeping things contained in middle. And Bait know how to wield those resources in this side of the map here. So no ground gained. It's Alliance keeping consistent on this game plan, just like they did last round. Wait this early utility out. And be able to spring into action when called upon.
Yeah, they have gotten a little bit of a formula now, how Alliance, haven't they? Just been hitting this, sit outside A main, sit outside mid, sit outside B steps. Listen to what's thrown our way, and right now, more than ever, I think that that's going to be the best case scenario. Previously, we've seen them get an opening pick by this point, but it won't really matter when, in the next, say, 10, 15 seconds or so, they'll have lay of the land. Crossfire, though.
Yeah, right back to it again. Captain Kirkin cuts off mid. Asinial again struggling to contain it. Rather, it's Alex this time. Asinial's on the other side. They've just switched up the positions. And, well, I think Captain Kirk are already cutting off too. Maybe he gave us hints as to how this round was going. Boden's got to get past this op here of Headtrick holding the line. And he's not going to miss that one. Right back to it here. Just a small adjustment. Asinial now over on the Jaguar side of things, and you got Alex playing up close and personal.
You can see that there's really good protocols in place by the Bait team as well. Like, that's a scenario where a lot of other teams crumble under the pressure of having the control and don't really know what to play for otherwise. It's a good flash on the bottom side of mid after they let all the utility dwindle. It's the less that they have, the better maybe even, because it's Headtrick posted at every different point, able to support from the top side of mid for the flash, then over to the A site to zone that out. And over at the top side of shelf with 3 players still standing, 2 players tucked. They're playing a game of tag, really, to peek off of one another. Ascenthiel just waiting for Alex to take his. He's got a player inside of the cave, and they already had all the bottom mid control that they possibly could have needed. There's no reason to turn around. It's a quick sweep. It looks really, really nice, I have to say. A team more well organized than what I would have expected, having just replaced their in-game leader in favor of another, but I guess a familiar system, and Trick maybe just shooting ducks now. Let's hold on, there's another one just getting up close and personal, but it does him no good. At any range, Headtrick will be lethal and only have it on 10.
Yeah, I mean, what's been interesting here is this roster's just been able to hit the ground running with the addition here of Headtrick, right? And obviously Alex joining forces as well, but they've taken no days off. It feels like they've been constantly working throughout the space here, and I mean, again, I think the sort of reps that they've gained here over the last couple months, as well as just the fact that they, you know, have been winning so much and winning so dominantly in a lot of these series. You know, I think full faith inspired here by the calling and the leadership, alongside just a kind of big momentum gain here out of the gates. Like this roster, when you do make those big adjustments, when you do make those introductions, I think getting those reps in matters a lot, and they're willing to put in the hard work here already.
As far as the top 50 teams go, they have the 4th most maps played in 2024 thus far.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Assume Zero Tenacity is up there as well.
They're 2nd in the last 3 months, actually.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy. But this is assuming it's top 50 matches as well. That's the filter I was using. So even still, those are good reps. You mentioned it. They're not just reps, right? It's not just playing the game. It's playing the game against team that are
Tough competition.
Whether they be above you or just below. It's another time over at the shelf side that they're able to regain just a little bit of this room. And as Avid goes back to try and double down onto what they had lost, it's NPL who doubles down instead. He finds his 2nd, continuing to keep pace with Headtrick, who's been putting up his best numbers, but it's a weird front side stance at A, just awaiting someone to overstep I was gonna say overstay their welcome and overstep. I kind of just threw them together. So yeah, overstate.
That works.
Oh.
Captain Kirk could not giving them any relief here, and they spot a player in Donut. That's what you'd expect to be your A anchor, because look at this back turned here for Aseniel. Doesn't get any easier than that. Looking to close things off as well. Caps Robin, he turns the corner, and it just doesn't get any easier here for Alliance side of things, dude. Honestly, Aseniel's one of those players where I watch a lot of bait here. This guy's his rating does not match what he does on the server every single game I've caught him. I don't know. I've been looking through the stats. It doesn't make any sense how he doesn't have more than like a 1.0 rating, because he's doing that consistently. He's just a multi-killing machine.
So interesting. It's like a breed between like Kierby and like I don't even know. Really weird, but it works. Sometimes takes us a little shimmy and a little shake. 18 and 5. This is some fallen on Dust 2 numbers we're seeing here on the first half from the not so new ad. Put him in any team really, and you'll be expecting him to be doing the Lord's work. With any gun you give him, not always an AWP player. Also, hasn't always been one.
Back in his Lobby junior days or youth. But Captain Kirka,
A little bit of both.
Just cutting up through the smoke right there. Is Yellow really gonna make a move? Do this? They're gonna walk right around each other here, and in the chaos, Bait thriving, shutting down this eco. Headtrick gonna finish the job. Easy does it here for Bait as they look to really assert their dominance here in this first half and have a chance to close out with 9 at the best of situations.
It is really weird to look back at the Navi Junior roster. Actually, I'm looking at it right now. At one point in time being Monacy, Headtrick, Uncare, Fear, and then Flamey filling after he got benched. What a curious 5. We just saw Fear earlier today, no less.
Yeah, that's actually wild.
Either way, it's not any longer an academy team for Headtrick. He's in the big leagues now, at least as close as it gets to them. Maybe not on Monacy level, but he's working back. Little by little, rank by rank and game by game, grinding them out one by one. As we've been saying, this would be one for them to remember as they make themselves another semifinals appearance in CCT. But with holds like these, maybe Alliance aren't too keen on letting that one slip just yet. Last round of the half, a good time to come alive as the bomb is punched in. Low on HP still is Plessin, but on the wraparound is going to be a little bit late from Alex, but maybe he might get caught off, actually. Caught in transition as Abbott is here.
Perfect right there. That's what you want out of your lurk about towards middle. Avid being able to strike and instantly adjust. They've already got that donut positioning here. He's going to go back towards main, and I just think there's a backstab rolling through here at any time here. Bowden has a chance to strike. He's going to stick the bomb, though. He's going to stick the bomb, though. Oh, my God. He didn't make a move right there. He thought that they were faking, but they just didn't have the resources to run it down. 2 smokes in disastrous positions. And Bait just steal that last round away. They just get to stare each other down as the smokes fade. The curtain drops and Bait win the round.
A little bit of hesitation coming in there from the team with the man advantage. You hear the tap onto the bomb. You've got 3. There's smokes up in front of all of you. May as well all fight 3 at the same time. What are they going to do? You're from all 3 different prongs of attack. Somebody's got to make something happen. Coordinate a play of some kind. It's not going to pan out for them, but Headtrick with the AWP, I mean, how many shots can he possibly put down range after the first in time in order to take them back down? It's trades that should have been made available, but a 9-3 half. This from Bait is what we came to expect, despite the early game being extraordinarily tight, Exner.
Yeah, I just think Alliance had a good read on how to deal with the pressure, and even in that last round, they have a great trades on that A side, and it just doesn't matter at all. Just ripped away round, and a really bitter pill to swallow as you hop into the pistol, trying to recover this tough scoreline. Winning a pistol though could let you get there. Tap on the bomb here. No one looking to spam down range, but everyone rotating around in time. We'll see if they can actually figure out a way to plant those digits in, but we know how difficult it can be. And they just can't seem to find a way to lock in those numbers.
These duels are going to get weird. The CT smoke will fade, and now I think the CT side can afford to sit and wait if they want. They don't really have to take these fights, seeing as they have the utility, but they're still going to flash over even before the bomb is planted, and maybe that might be their undoing. Things unravel. There's nobody on the site to tap into C4, but it won't really come to matter. It's Twist. He's locked in. There's a player on the back lines. Captain Kirk has got this one placed under lock and key, and he won't even need to. It's a double from MPL, a triple from the in-game leader. Trying to make a statement for himself. Beginning of this offensive, and Bait, it looks like even when things are falling apart, able to put things right back together. The engineers of Ancient.
Yeah, my God. I don't really know what queued up that sort of aggression as well. Like, you do have a lot going for you here. When you have them contained in towards a position where they just can't plant the bomb, it feels like Bait are the ones that need to make that next move. It's their turn, and then you just run right into their setup. The one thing I don't want to mess with here when I'm dealing with Bait is their mechanics and their ability to fire away. They're in too hot a form to mess around with that. And it's just going to be coasting to 11 here as the full eco gets sideswiped.
Oh, man. Guys, don't kill him yet. Let me plan. $300 for head trick now. Guys, we're throwing. 11-3.
That's some min-maxing right there that I love to see.
I do that. I've honestly done that before in my teams.
Yeah.
I've literally said, don't kill him.
That extra bread. That's one extra smoke right there. We know how useful smokes are.
Well, no, you get it. What I'm saying is don't even kill him, because if you plant before he dies, you get 800 across all 5, as opposed to just 300 after the round. You know what I mean?
Is that real?
Yeah, you get $800 for planting the bomb.
But that's only if you lose the round, though, right?
No. $800 flat. Well, now it's $600 if the opponents defuse. So it's calculated after the round now.
Oh.
But yeah, $800 for planting the bomb. So that's 3,000 total versus 300. It's a 10 times multiplier difference if you just wait those couple extra seconds before you kill the guy.
Yeah, well, what you got to do, make sure that you give the T side as much economy as possible. That's gonna help out a lot there. Robin just tapping away. Picks off. Quick kill there, but the caught with utility out is Ovid, and now he has to run away. Players still caught with utility out as they turn the corner, and Avid goes down, but the trade's on in here. They're still going to be able to somehow brute force away into a B bomb site.
Yeah, this is, ooh, an angle from Alex. I was going to say that's a powerful one, potent in nature, but the Galil's not the greatest weapon for the fights, maybe, but still making it work, as MPL is going to need to be the next big man up, as they don't have a kit, and Twist is still yet to get up over the shelf, and Plesset is left idle out into the open, and time again of the essence. You need to find these kills fast. One more player to do it. Headtrick's already got 3 in the round. The nade's gonna go just behind him, soaring just on the other side of the low HP player, and there's a kit retrieved. Hold on, he's gotta find the bomb. No, and I think he's got just enough time. Great work. Headtrick thought he had done enough, but Twist, wise for his years of 29, he's gotten them around.
I mean, that just looked like a perfectly composed clutch right there from Twist. Not budging when he throws that HE is a wild call to make it. I thought that's what was going to secure it right there for Bait, but
me too.
Twist just too wise to the antics. And it starts off with Robin just plucking the pick away, but Avid, again, tossing utility on in, and these trades roll back so quickly. You can see how deadly Bait are in any situation. And while it's a victory here, it might feel like a bit of a hollow one for Alliance. They only live with one player. They don't win this one, it feels like curtains could be called here. MPL just avoids that flash play completely, and turning around is a Senial right there for the kill to catch.
Avid dispatched of in the early stages. An upgrade in terms of weaponry if they can get to it. Captain Kirk would love that, seeing the HP that he's on, or at the very least a trade out with a Sential who is at a 6 HP. Tenant Decent range, is still able to put good damage down it. This isn't going to stop Bait. They're actually going to speed it up, and Alliance, still in good standings, are going to activate across the rest of the map, and that leaves B susceptible now if they want to double back. MPL, he's opened up a new avenue of opportunity as Plessin is holding down for him to maybe make his way back to the shelf. It's Headtrick who's wrapping all the way through spawn with the C4. Nobody to stop him.
Oh, it's a big pickup right there, though. Quick from Plessin on the FAMAS. First out of his gun. But turning that corner, very lackadaisical there from Robin. It's going to cost him dearly. And Plessin's still fighting for his life. Adds another tag to the tally.
Oh.
They're getting becketed on in towards Twist. He has a powerful position. And he's going to catch a back turn here. But he's exposed to main. He's going to go down for it here. And it's going to be all in the back of Plessin to save this round. Another 1v2 called upon here. But a perfect molly somehow tracks it around the flames. HEs chase him. And Hetrick just looking to lock in the digits here. Going to plant in the bomb. Plessin not pushing forward here is going to allow Hetrick to maybe get a reposition, but he's so low on health here.
That's an AK.
He's going to try and turn here around the corner and still lands a headshot. Doles it out for the map point right there. And Hetrick in the clutch, stone cold. Is he kissing his cross right now? That's sweet.
I don't actually know. Was he?
I think so. He pulled something out of his shirt right there.
Maybe he's just one of those people who just like teaves on their t-shirts sometimes, you know? Did you ever do that when you were young? Did you ever do that when you were younger? You did that too?
No.
Yeah.
Hey, man, Hetrick
Right.
might be a babyface killer still, but I don't think he's sucking on his t-shirt anymore.
Maybe he was salivating at the thought of that clutch and had to wipe.
Right. Absolutely sick though. I mean that's brutal. It just puts him in a winning position now. Easiest chance to close out this map, and 8 more of them or 7 more of them if this one goes wrong.
Scout tag. Actually, it was an M4 tag. The dink on the Sentinel. Oh, Avid's stuck in it, though. I think they're going to fight him.
Just win the fight. Win the trade battle right there. Avid giving it a bit of a go. MP9's just doing damage. They're getting some good output out of the MP9 and Scout. This lesser weaponry, but oh my goodness. Can't just track the kills here. Full on gamble. But look at the read from Bait in the mid round. 3 players inch their way up Donut. Alliance are going to be fighting Ghosts on this B side.
The wishful thinking MP9 spam through that wall as they walk it down through the bottom of the steps. They're trying to pull away some attention, but there's nobody there.
It's going to be too late on this rotate.
Yeah, they've got their sights focused on this. It's easy enough. It's a contact in. So they at least, I guess, give them a little bit of time to get this rotation in. As you mentioned, it was going to be a little bit slow, but right now they've gotten pretty good pace. No flashbang to go through, though. It's just going to be the molly through and the bodies to fly in, I think. The boost over top Twist, hoping somebody gives him an inch. And when they do, he strikes. Lamps down upon that first, but there's so many more to get through as they're up close and personal. They've gotten themselves inside of the temple. A double. An AK down low and an SMG up close, and they're going to waltz right into it, and the trades are there, but even so, low are the remaining players. It's MPL and Hetrick. They've been here time and time again, and very few have they actually let slip, and Plessin's going to have to put something ahead we've never seen from him on Ancient so far, and it looks like we won't get to see again as there's no time left onto this. He'll tap, but it's Hetrick. He's clutched one too many a time before, and it is going to be the finisher, the absolute close, and Hetrick to go 24-6.
The right man for the job right there to finish your back-to-back rounds to put Bait across that finish line right there and seal this one in. Hopping into a pretty exciting Mirage here, and again, it's just more strength that Bait get to lean in on here. It's going to be a tough ask here for Alliance to pull back big time on this this map, but just to say, maybe you could see some of that flare shape up here, and some of the good ideas that we initially saw come through. And again, when a team's able to beat you multiple times, you think Alliance are leaning into this map. They're watching some of the history of these two teams play up against each other, and they're looking for those adjustments.
Yeah, Avid playing from the spawn. He's got the kit, he's got the smoke, he's got teammates on their way back, and as they fire down, the smoke's not yet bloomed, and that's going to really hurt a Sentinel, and also spotted on his way over is NPL taking some substantial damage from Khan. They might have space, but what they need is to drop some bodies, and NPL is going to get the start. Deep in towards spawn. I don't think he's going to clear this one. I think Avid's got his number. They're going to be able to hold on. Wait, no. Okay. He does eventually turn back, thankfully so. As they are going to be able to clean house and leave only Hetrick, but he's been clutch.
Absolutely. Yeah, bring one more. Not quite. Long-range duels. And Robin will close out, denying that clutch factor to continue. So we'll see. A good start here, and I think finally we'll actually get to see, you know, that $600 adjustment maybe take a little bit more place here. There is only 2 kills in the round here, so you're missing out on some economy, but now it's still Khalil's and armor for everybody. So scratch what I just said. They do only have 3 smokes to lean on, which can be a bit of a challenge. So I don't know. We'll see what they can bring to the table with lacking utility presence. Actually, it's 2 smokes in a flashbang. As the slight adjustment there, but again, still a pretty fierce purchase here for the T side. And already, I mean, again, for the defense, there's not as much utility. They're just looking to hold down the line. They invested into the same sort of situation here. A lot of rifles being brought for them, and, well, it looks like a quick duel right there. MPL actually able to trade things out 1 for 1.
Yeah, that's enough start now. Bait back into it. It's not the team that you want to let back into these sorts of rounds either. I think we had seen something similar to this over on Ancient. I believe it was their 2nd round conversion they had caught on round number 2 of the map in its entirety. These Galils, they're certainly potent. I think that they would need something equivalent to what an AK-47 would bring to the table, but not quite. These guys. Looking pretty solid even still. Slow and low as they crouch their way up through the catwalk. They leave somebody towards the bottom side of mid if they need him to activate late, but it's Plessin who can do a majority of the damage. Avid eventually strikes, and he'll be a fast rotate over towards B should the catwalk continue, but I think they want to actually slot in towards A now.
Looks like it. They're just gonna bypass, jump around here, Avid, and avoid him for now. And they only take half their HP. It's left to Robin on the bomb site proper to deliver the finishing blow here. And will he be able to find it, isolate these first duels here, and deliver a quick kill? Now dancing between these angles, MPL's just got to move quick, and actually catching him on the jump up right there. An impressive sequence from Robin. As pressure was circling in on him, able to shut things down and make sure that purchase does not come through there. Bait, I think some good quick readjustments, but again, running into a very strong defense.
Needed to be, too. It gets a little bit chaotic in that moment where it looks like the mid-round decision-making from Bait is snappy enough to where they could have pulled away with something. And I like to see that, too, especially from the younger players. I say younger, they're all young. What I mean is the more experienced young players in MPL and Headtrick both heads-up maneuver to get inside of the window. It's something that could have caught their opponents off guard, the both of them, but sometimes good decision-making doesn't necessarily equate to a round conversion, but that's still a look to the future when they've got better utility, better weaponry, better positioning, everything that they can have in their wheelhouse, seeing as it is just going to be them on this eco round. This time, though, it's going to be Alliance who should have the clean sweep. This should be everything as quick and easy as you can ask.
Yeah, shutting down those kills. Giving the Deagles a lot of shots, but just none of them connecting. So it could be flawless, of course, Alex, to bring 1 kill in at least.
Gotta get the 1.
Yeah, I got mine, guys. And you?
Guys, what are we doing? Are you that guy?
No, dude. That actually irks me, especially when we're like someone got like 3 kills and then just loses the round with the worst play afterwards, and then says, "Guys, I got mine."
Well, I'd be a liar if I said I wasn't that guy. So
sometimes it's funny when you're in matchmaking.
Yeah,
also in like intense situations, I'm like, oh my god,
guys, what are we doing?
I got mine. Mine is what kills me. Yeah, fair enough.
Me when I play with Vincent.
Whenever I play with Vincent, I just tap his keyboard, so he ends up going into like alt tab.
Dang, what's your problem anyway? It's a much easier mid-take right now from Bait, seeing as they have these AKs. All of a sudden, they get it for free, and that is really bad for Alliance. I hate this. They might walk through a main, but I don't think it'll really matter, because once you forfeit that mid-control, let alone forfeit the mid-control and aren't able to trade under the walkthrough, Ascential is going to open up the A-bomb site and leave it entirely, completely vulnerable, with Robin seceding back into B. They crawl back into their shells.
Yeah, I mean, that's the only call at this point. You gave all the mid control for an aggressive A play that did not lead you to, not only, I mean, did lead you to any map control, but it also led you to 2 opening picks as well. You chunked off half of Cynthia's HP, which is nice, but that's about it. I don't think it's a bad call to just say, you know what, this round's over. Let's call it a day.
Certainly not.
Couple exits here or there.
About as good as a call as it gets. At that point.
Double digits.
Yeah.
Right there for Robin.
Dang. 10-0? What the hell? Have I been missing something? What is this performance right now from the IGL? I mean, sure, he can play well, that's fine. I don't expect him to play poorly, but this is quite a difference in stature from now and to what was a relatively slow and quiet Ancient. Okay. Twist yet to frag is not going to be the biggest of deals for them, though. There's still time yet for him to get online, and honestly, this map being one of the ones where that double AWP setup is entirely possible. I love the double up on this map, actually.
I do too. Pretty effective. Just double zoom in B apps.
Oh yeah.
Problem solved. Lesson able to pluck MPL off an apps. No op needed. Right there. No telescope required. Robin looking for those duels right there. Does gather a bit of information. It's still concessions on control here. And again, it's up for Cynthia to try and deliver from Palace on the extremity. Alex is going to activate late through window here as Captain Kirk is looking to draw attention through Con. How much can he gather here before he's spotted? He's taking a lot of initiative. Well, he's going to go right on in. This is going to be pretty deadly execute, even in the man deficit.
Player to the balcony is going to smoke himself off. He's not going to fall out. It's a Sentinel who knows that he's there and has to flush him out at some point in time, but the flashbang from the CT is actually going to get him in the greatest position possible to find that one, as Avid can swing immediately following. The top out player has got nothing to say. It's Alex, who would have found one, a second, and even an opportunity onto the third, as the rest of the 1v1s would have flooded in almost immediately afterwards, but all is well that ends well. An Alliance lose their one, but they bounce back almost immediately afterwards with some really positive sort of reactionary plays across the board. It has to be said, it's about as good as it gets.
Yeah, and honestly, right there for Beta, I thought that execution power was going to be enough. They had some pretty nasty positioning. You got a player on that that seal. You got a player rolling through connector, and again, the Molotov in for under Belk felt perfect in terms of the game plan, but in execution, unable to ice up those duels here. And Bowden with the op avoids a flash, but he can't avoid the headshot right there of Alex, man. My God, what a swing out of the gates right there. Shuts down the op of Bowden early. Thought that one was handed to him on a silver platter, but
no.
Not always easy when Alex is swinging India.
Alex realized what Robin was putting forward. He pressed tab and he said, "Oh hell no! It's my turn now. This might be his time." Yeah, no. I mean, maybe. Well, no. Well, maybe not for long. More quick attempt at closing.
How long are they gonna hang around in this mid control though? They just cleared out all of middle, so they're starting to spread back out. And I mean, Robin's gonna activate on a quick flank here, and they're gonna have 2 defenders on A side. Potentially left behind smokes though for now. It's all about buying time for Robin to pull this flank through. Maybe find a kill while you're at it so that they can't just watch flank like they are doing right now. There you go. He's done it. Plessin did exactly what he needs to do here. It doesn't matter, man. It's just that trick running around the corner. Robin, he just puts his hands to his head, scratching Wondering how on earth
How is it
it is so
possible?
easy for head trick.
Who is this guy? Everybody gets their piece right there, you know? It's the in-game leader to start it all off, and that does really rally the troops from then onwards. It's hard not to be inspired by such a move. Out through mid. At an unbeatable pace. Alex sets the team up for success, and it's a save from then on. And that's one thing that I think this CT side has looked pretty good about. Pretty much like the instant saves. The 2 times that they've done it, they've afforded themselves a bye just as good immediately following. And that's what's given them their ability to answer back that they otherwise wouldn't have had. This very well could have been just a 4-2 in the other way if the economy wasn't there. And this is starting to become maybe a detriment if the rest of the Alliance team isn't able to wake up. Robin needs to get 2 or 3 kills in a round in order to make it happen, but still very early on since they started to actually lose any rounds at all, so we'll see if that is going to be the case. As MPL very quick up through catwalk, has Captain Kirk to cover his hind.
They're scaling. I mean, just deadly positioning. MPL contains his spray as well. And we're already getting a quick answer. Safe. Once again, these rounds, they fly by you. And whenever bait can deliver those opening duels, it just so quickly calls curtains on the round. MPL and Captain Kirk as well, covering his backside right there as they fly up catwalk, 1 kill a pop, and there's just no shutting down that aggression, especially when your closest rotate is gonna be like smoked out in window, not even making the rotations in.
Time to get out of dodge. Another save, 3 players to do it. Up goes the C4, and keeping as many players as they have alive, though, Bait. Makes their rounds just as easy as we get all of this action. Never seems to be a dull moment between these two in this map thus far. Problem is the rounds when we do have them, albeit exciting and explosive in the opening stages, seem to be about as quickly over as they were to begin. It's either the save or it's either this absolute wipe from the CTs once the initial duels do come through. It's the gap over the top side of the connector smoke that I don't know if the Ts were actually aware of, as the first player's entry pathing seemed to be unannounced to him that it even existed. Good on Captain Kirk to have the presence of mind to be able to look into it over the top of it. Lets his teammate continue his way onwards with the round. Stick up. Now with an opportunity really to break the back of Alliance.
Yeah, unless they keep saving 3 guns every round.
Unless.
It is the, I guess the best way to lose a round. To still be able to survive with 3 players. It's how they've lost, I think, every round they've saved 3 players, which is crazy.
Okay.
But, you're still losing those rounds here. It's an off-spawn A call here, but this time there's a lot more reinforcements on this site to go with. There's just targeting perfectly on the location of Twist, and he goes down without much of a fight here. They're cutting off rotations as well, burning in the flames before they can transition in on this defense. So incredibly explosive out of bait, and they're gonna make sure that you can't save with 3. You're just gonna hold on with a couple of guns this time. Just
Only 2 guns this time, guys, okay? No more. I mean it. It might actually, potentially by the end of it, come to meet the AWP of Bowden Master, who's stuck up just behind them at spawn, and when they do, not going to be too happy with what they find. Bullet to the chest. Owie.
That'll do the trick. What is interesting, this it's a player top mid, but not gonna ever get much action. Hold on with 2 guns there. And bait just off spawn A call out of nowhere. We haven't seen a lot of slow plays from them, right? They run up cat just a round to go. Look at that, man. Just full on cohesion in the game plan. Flying through the utility. And even despite a very strong defensive setup, they couldn't hold off what bait was thrown at them here. A run boost to just get that much quicker. A flash setup as well here. Asiniel past the Molotov, but not going to stick around too long. Find out what's around that corner. 3 players. Great mid play here. Robin flying through the smoke there. And head trick. Able to keep things even. Trading things back into the side of Bait's favor. And Asiniel again up to the task of holding off this A main aggression here. They're going to double down. Last time he was tested by this, he was able to pass with 2 kills. Can he do it again? This seems too much of a task right there. And a surprise around that smoke.
Not fun. Smokes in this round have just been the most beneficial to the CT side, as it seems. Anything else, still one sits up at the front side of A main. It's NPL and Head Trick, man. Who else? Those two
Oh my god.
constantly being left up into these. But honestly, I'm going to start to favor them because they're walking away. They're walking it out.
Dude.
They're going to gamble over towards the retake. They've got utility to make it happen, but do not give them this room to work with. They've got a smoke. They've got 2 mollies, and they've got jungle. Hold on. Wait. A fight to come through before they've even gotten the bomb planted. And I think NPL is going to be quick to stop them. The Molotov onto the floor of the next, but he's gonna fight through. He won't be able to get the kill, and he'll burn to a crisp. The Molly versus incendiary difference comes to light.
Oh no. Just ticks and ticks. Tried to go for the hero move and ends up in shambles. Bowden found himself in familiar territory here with an op in his hands and his hands in his pockets. Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Oh, that is brutal right there. And like you said, you know, as soon as you watch NPL and Hedrick make the only right move in the round to disrespect that smoke and call the bluff of Alliance, I think at that point I knew it was over. I just didn't know how over it really was.
Yeah, man. You just look at those 2 names and you're pressing tab and you're like, oh, all right. Well, if we win, great. might even be like happy to win out the 3v2 against those 2. Like, you're like, whoo, we won the 3v2, guys. High fives all around. Great quick thinking on these players though after these kills, not to sit around on their hands. Yeah.
As well afterwards is that sort of read right there is so impressive to me. I thought that was going to be again a little bit of an unfortunate like timing right there on the player who was making its way through murder hole, but the window player is surely going to catch him off guard, and he tosses a molly and gets the kill. Like that's just unbelievable.
100-0.
NPL just had the perfect vision of how that round was shaping up, and he was on the money.
Yeah, and I think about it like this too. If NPL paths his way towards stairwell as opposed to back inside of the site, Avid probably has a much better chance at finding that one. It's honestly a pretty decent decision from him to snap onto it. He might have had room, but NPL, again, too fast, too quick, not tagged enough, fast enough in his movement to get away. Timeout, I believe, from the Bait Esports side on that one, technical in nature. Will eventually finish its way out. We'll get back into it with Bait in the lead.
It's really rolled by quickly as well, right? Had themselves decent start here, but rounds have been determined within the first 20 seconds. And Bowden now, tired of trying to play retake strike, is going to be an active member on the defense and actually does bring through a quick kill here. The pistols around him are falling quickly. You know there's 2 more on this A side here.
Oh! Oh no, the vent not being broken though actually might help them. Hold on. Because that's confirmed that they can make their way from the A site in that direction without breaking it if they want to go through the site, but NPL's got a line of sight on them if they want to head through market, which will not be the case. It will not be allowed. And Robin, the only thing he's allowed to do at this point is maybe save, but I don't even know if that's going to be too long of an option for him.
Yeah, at some point, aren't you tired of saving as well? But there is no option for him to make even a retake of this round.
I'm watching our Jame demos.
Yeah. There's been a lot of spectating here for a lot of Alliance members.
Yeah.
It's just a really tough way to play Counter-Strike, to be honest with you. Like, in the server, Because how
Can I play A this time? I want to play this round.
because of how quickly Beta are winning these rounds. It's in the first 20 seconds that they were finding these entries and finding the kills and finding the space. It's like, for a player like Bowden, you're almost spectating the kill feed and playing that A side proper. It's almost like you're just spectating your teammates at that point. That is not a fun way to play.
I think after this matchup, I'm gonna take a look at the heat maps for where the first deaths and first kills were coming through most consistently for Bait. Curious to see just how it's possible that 3 players were allowed to save. I think 3 times and then 2 players 1 time. I don't really know.
It was the first 4 rounds that they won. 3 surviving on Alliance and then 2 surviving on the 4th round.
It felt like it was always just the 2 B players, meaning the 1 cat and the 1 anchor, and then the 1 mid player, which to me spells that the rotations are slow and the adaptability is just kind of in the negatives. You can finally see that they're going to take up a new methodology of playing it out as they do the Nico Monacy high-low AWP posted rifle swinging out through mid, but it's the B site now all of a sudden that's under search and seizure. How have Bait decided in this round of all of them after they've so many times before flooded through mid and A to go B, and we're saving, boys.
Oh my god, man. It's just constantly Beta are in the right for these rounds here. Just execution after execution towards that A side, forcing Alliance to adapt in all of these rounds, and then bam, they're doing something different. They're shaking it up.
Credit to Alex.
He's in the minds of Alliance right now, in the heads, round after round, knowing what their next step is, and then adapting to it accordingly.
Dude is Zeus incarnate right now. You know what? Better yet, I'll give him an even bigger compliment. Bro is Starix incarnate. That guy was a mind. Zeus was smart. Zeus was good, but Starix, man, I don't know if you've ever like heard interviews about him or like.
I haven't heard a lot about him.
All I know is that before Zeus, they've all talked about him, or majority of the players like Edward have spoken about him in their reflections. But dude, I mean, the fact of the matter is that before winning the major, Zeus was kicked from his team, and Starix was going to IGL from the coaching role before the ban. So.
Yeah.
I feel like that speaks enough of a volume as to how good of a game leader he could be.
Sometimes I do think about what could have been if coach, like how crazy Counter-Strike would be if there was coaches that could coach IGL.
A different time it would have been. Man. I think it's kind of stupid. I think it would have been dumb, but it would have been interesting.
Yeah, I mean, imagine just five players that don't have to look at their radar.
Sean Garris standing behind the best of NA.
That'd be nuts. Even like Nitro, I think.
I don't want to think about what we missed.
Yeah. Jeez.
Sean, come back. All good though. We're in Europe right now. Well, in spirit. In Boston.
East Coast.
Sir, represent.
Let's go.
Oh, wait, this gets weird though.
Hey, man. Any flashes? No, he's just gonna go in through the smoke. Oh my god, he's gonna phase it. Waiting for it, and there you go. Almost a lineup right there. Does distract and gives a lot of info. Look at MPL. He's striking from A. They've again just read this round perfectly.
Dang. Dude,
there's
MPL.
No resistance.
I'm loving what I'm seeing right now in terms of just the snap. Every time it looks like he's in the right place and makes the right move. Not overextending here, but maybe there.
Oh, there you go.
That was the first time in the entire round he'd actually made himself a little bit too big of a target. Senthiel communicating to Captain Kirk, there are players on the other side of this, and they're soon to make their way in, but no. They've instead funneled their way out. He reclaims that space, makes his move into it, and now for the flashbang, I think he can set up head trick. Call for it. Senthiel's got it. Lob it over, and he'll be good for it. He pulls it now, pins the nade, lets it fly, but murdered by a Molly's head trick, and there's gotta be some sort of an answer. Somebody needs to make this move. Smoke onto the bomb. They're trying to get onto it, but they can't initially. The second player's up for it, exposed by the nade, but not gonna be fragged.
Saved by the bell right there. Robin, the one that's gonna close that round off. He ends on 17-5, a one-man show, a one-man effort right there. An incredibly tough fight rolling through here for the side of Alliance, but at least it's capped off with a a slight smirk, maybe a smile leaning in right there as they clutch up and pull through a very difficult retake. I really don't know if mentally Alliance could have lost that round, right? I think they needed that one.
No, I don't think so.
It would have just felt like for 7 rounds in a row, rather, you were read perfectly by Bait. So they only make it 6 in a row.
That would have been crushing. Trick's gone. PL's in. Trying to tap away some heads. Not able to. They're going to run him through. He's got support from the bottom side of connector, but it hasn't done them any good just yet. Alex needs to buy time for MPL to get off the reload, but oh my god, Robin. This guy's just non-stop. And he gets the 4th even! What is with IGLs today and fragging out? We saw Fallen earlier on. That dude was Mr. Beast.
Mr. Beast.
And here's Robin.
I mean, not a bad comparison when you consider...
I just bought my entire team AK-47s.
I was gonna say more so when he was helping out the South American scene before all the talks of conflict of interest. Yeah, that guy, I mean, again, the IGLs right now playing out of their mind. Robin just at least delivering in the fragging department. I feel like on that CT side, maybe not able to come up with the best adjustments, but sure is shooting his way out of a tough map here for Alliance. They gotta shoot their way through a force buy.
And Trick left next to nothing in the way of HP. Not exactly the easiest way of maneuvering around a round, having to say, okay, well, tagged one bullet, they sneezed on me, guys, I'm dead. They're trying to flood out this player inside of ladder room, but they actually blind their teammate, and oh my lord, Alex, he doesn't need vision, he spams them down both through the smoke. Good kills in 5-7, potent and close range. Surely not like this. All 5 still standing. Head Trick rotating with this scout. Might soften them up for him to be bagged, but it'll be MPL instead. And it's a 1v4 for Avin. He cannot surmount.
Everyone rotated over right there. I mean, again, Asiniel just finding his quick kills is enough. And a double up out of nowhere, just spamming down range with an MP9 straight through the smoke. Bait, again, it feels like they can do no wrong in these rounds. I mean, so many good protocols they're called in from Alliance. Maybe not executed on it perfectly. Like you said, the flash that caught 2 right there, but...
What's the point of smoking off ladder if you cross before the smoke? What's the point of flashing if it's not going to blind anyone, other than your teammates? What is currently the game plan being employed if these are the gaps being left that'll give them all the room that they need to win out, Bait?
I mean, that's a great point as well, yeah. Feels like it was a breakdown in the strategy and the game plan, and panic almost setting in here. But again, a very nice headshot out of Avid, showing us some of the mechanics that we said he needs to bring out for this series. There's always one more around the corner, isn't there?
There's always one more. He can smell him coming. MPL and Alex just slowly floating to the top of these boards. Maybe not so slowly by the end of it, as they still neck and neck are competing with one another for top score, it seems, in this round. But MPL putting 4 there. It's him in the running for it. Obviously, majority of them on the CT side being ecos, but he had his fair share of ecos. He was on the other end of things with the deal. Turning of events that really is what might spell disaster for Alliance, because that was their way in. That was their way up and over the Bait squad that had retained that lead. It's going to be one that they hang their heads in shame on upon demo review.
Yeah, and again, right now you do have Robin that's just trying to really just backpack this team through almost all of their round victories right now. But it also does come to question here if there is a small lack of direction in a round. There is a lot of hesitation what the calling means on this squad, and that could still be a problem here that flares up even despite the good individual performance here. Only a single casualty on this this Glock round. And bait. They skyrocket up to 10 here.
That's crazy how fast those double digs do come through, even after having found 2 for Alex. Robin, dude, 22 and 8. This is a man come to life in a moment where he really needed to, but he's got more kills than the rest of his team together, I think. Just about one less than his team put together.
Yeah, close to it.
Just about. Might be his time to put himself up to that point, though, because they've kind of siphoned off the entirety of the A site with little to no answer from the CTs, and they won't have one until that bomb is planted. I say that, but they actually get shot into the face not once but twice before the C4 is down.
If you're playing for retake right there, you want to at least maintain a 5v5, maybe get a pick through the smoke, but
Alliance
when they miss
cosplay.
out on a couple of those kills, they're gonna roll through with an Alliance cosplay. 3 players survive on the first T-side gun round that Alliance are able to win. And oh yeah, fancy footwork there from Alex. Takes the easy route out. And not a bad read. I think Alliance certainly need a lift off like that. It's still pretty difficult when, again, 3 rifles are saved on a lost round. But it is a quick activation on the gun rounds here. Quick 7th and a good read coming through on that T side that is desperately needed.
A trick up. Let's see that get a little bit active here. I think the confidence has to be exuberating through these players, even still following what they were able to accomplish over on Ancient. They haven't slowed, not really. They've maybe paused for only a moment in the beginning of that first half, but quickly the resurgence. It's gotten them. A high standard of play. His mid is looking pretty clean. It's going to be the T side, actually pretty swiftly making the decision to just bounce back over towards that A site with bomb left loose outside of the apartments. They've got 3 here at A, with smokes already raining over, interestingly enough. I see that they do have enough to re-execute, though, so this could be what Doctor ordered. It doesn't pull a rotation. Instead, it does the opposite. Headtrick falls out.
I'm trying to call the bluff right now. When Captain Kirk is still playing a very forward angle, they baited out one of those smokes. Now Headtrick back in position here as well. Ready to support. A flashman comes through. 2 kills from Captain Kirka. MPL with the perfect popper, and Headtrick still assembled on the line here of A main. Completely disrupting that execute before it ever even lifts off. They've already found the quick picks. Bomb down in A main right now. A player lurking about towards middle and a player in Palace. Left separate from that bomb, but that mid lurk could actually come into question here. Twist is going to be making a move here soon. They're repositioning. I don't know if they registered that they had bomb here. This could be a bit awkward considering the fact that Twist has heard these rotates. And now an open window in towards the A side, barring what MPL can do from spawn.
Yeah, I was going to say, he's going to be able to at least put some damage down range, assuming they do try to siphon him off, but they've got no smoke. They're going to have to burn him out. That might be exactly the move, but Twist is close, flash for support, but he's not actually gotten close enough in time to where the flashbang is going to A, blind anybody, or B, where he's going to be able to get in timing after if they wanted to become unblind. It's ample time for the rest to make their way back. And again, a moment where it should have been a free pick towards CT spawn. They had time for Twist to just walk it up that little bit closer, the flash off the mark. It's these little and very significant gaps being unable to be plugged that leave them in situations where otherwise they should have been entirely in the driver's seat for. Painful.
Yeah, definitely takes a hit for sure.
Ooh.
fast rolling out towards middle here. No hesitation. Gonna be met with a lot of resistance here on the CT side, tossing constant utility and just being able to track his MPL around the smoke. But Robin always available for a delivery. Somehow continues to have that impact. Into the B side though. Look at this. Avid found a kill and is actually able to take the side. As I say that, MPL just rips it away from him, of course. And they've got players pressing the extremities as well. You've got a big flank rolling through from Captain Kirkwood. And MPL, he's going to be left on a very challenging position, but a headshot angle is right where he needs to be. There's a Molotov for him potentially, but they're still looking for the contact approach. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Yeah, that's such a hard timing to cope with. You could see a little bit of a shock on him. Just happened in the snap of his fingers, but hold on, Robin's crossing, let low. Bowden Mastery's not able to cross just yet, but Headtrick is tagged. It's all up to NPL really, because Headtrick following that one is likely just going to go in for the save. No real reason for him to throw away the sniper rifle just yet. A gap enough and money to be recuperated in the rounds to follow. I don't think it would be wise for him to make much more of a step into it. He'll just spot out if anybody's left lurking over towards the apartments on exit, but that won't happen. Not yet. They might actually go in that direction, though, knowing he was towards A. So a good read from Headtrick to get ahead of the game, and poof, a headshot, no less.
Well, does a lot of damage. I think Bowden should be good, though.
How does that one taste?
Lions, they are staying pretty resilient in this round here. I mean, pulling back a 3v2, did have a tough HP advantage there, and MPL just caught with his attention turned every which way. But as they stay resilient, every round is still up against a gun round, and they are, in some of these occasions, going through into these very limited resources. Got caught in the animation here, but they should be able to hear Robin flying up catwalk. He's in a power position again, putting his team in a great spot to win a round. In the ladder with 1 minute and 30 seconds on the clock is just too powerful. Oh, maybe it's not. They're still losing out in the B duels here. Robin got dropped as well.
Wow.
They don't get a catwalk prong. They only get a one-way street into Headtrick's op and a solid defense rolling through from MPL as well.
They just flood into the crosshairs. It's almost unlosable for Bait in that situation where they have so many players placed in the right spot at the right time. It's a moment where they get themselves onto this where no money is left into the bank. It's been drained. Gonna have to reach out for a loan, and once they're denied, they're gonna have to face the harsh reality of pistols, a scout, and a Galil. Housing bubble of Mirage 2024.
I mean, I can rent an apartment.
Try. I could credit. Alright. Unlucky. Sorry. You don't want that apartment. Says Vincent.
So it's caught fire many times, so maybe best to avoid it.
Lions need to catch fire right now if they want any chance in hell at pulling this one through, though. 2 flashes to go along with the guns that they've got, which is near... Found in a dumpster, maybe?
Yeah, well, you know what? I like that they at least have given Robin the faith, saying, hey, can you give us just one more round here? You know, trust him with the Galil, the best weaponry in the server right now, and see if they can make any magic happen. He's the right guy for the job in the current standing. Gonna give him even more resources here. A little boost up in towards window, covered, of course, by MPL, and there goes the star of the show here. There goes your one shining light for Alliance.
Yeah, he just watches his teammate fall, unfortunately. Twist looking to maybe remedy that by sliding out through The apartments, the timing not quite in his favor. The cat split going to be cut short, and the scout picked up might hit his shot. Avid might do the same, but there's still so many players around this B site that have him locked in, locked out, win 2-0 for Bait. And it might have taken a little while at the very start of things, and Robin might have put an absolutely exemplary performance up to snuff